Now let's turn the volume up a little bit more. This confidence thing can help you eliminate stomach issues. If you've ever studied the placebo effect, you know that there's really no difference between a molecular medication for certain types of drugs or certain types of ailments and a placebo, because it comes down to the mind. The mind can control things. It's a psychological, I don't know, engine. It can control things. Both, here's the interesting part, both in and outside of your body. For example, I mentioned me getting, always expecting to get sick after eating something. Well, it goes away when you stop expecting it and you're confident it won't happen. But on top of that, it can apply to other situations. One that comes to mind happened 48 hours ago, and I was maybe 2.5 feet away from someone at a bar. They were to my left. I took a pull, and I've been thinking about how ridiculous this whole thing is. Not in a bad way, but just it's ridiculous sometimes to me. It's funny. So I burst out laughing, and I kind of spit the bourbon directly toward this person who was next to me. But I said, oh no, now that I know the psychological game, if I'm confident that it's not going to hit her, or it will, but she won't respond, she won't notice. And in a split second, that thought rushes through my mind, and I confidently just look at her. She keeps looking forward as I'm looking toward her. And every drop of bourbon found some place on her sweater or hair or wherever that she didn't notice it. And I turned to face the same direction she is, and I was like, that's a miracle. That just happened. Or last night, for example. Just last night, I'm at dinner. There's a candle. It goes out. It's on my table. I said, it's sad. I wish I had my lighter. And I look and I can't find it in my pockets, and I realize it must be my jacket on the other chair. It was across the table, so I didn't reach. I was like, well, I really would like to have a candle at dinner, because my life's going down the fucking tubes with this whole process. I'm losing everything by doing this. And I said, it would be nice, God, if you could make that happen. And I swear to you, I wish I would have had my GoPro with me, because not 5 seconds later, this girl walks by and says, oh, hey, can I light the candle for you? And I say, sure. 2 days ago, I'm telling you, everything's psychological. 2 days ago, I'm hungry, and I'm running low on money, and there's this conference happening at the hotel. And I politely talk to a guy, and I'm not trying to look for something to eat, but in the back of my mind, I'm like, there's need here, and I do want to learn to hear what these evangelical Christians have to say. So I talk to a guy, and then he introduces me to someone, and then they say, well, yeah, why don't you come and join us? We have an extra plate of food, and we'd love for you to have you. So I go in, and I'm not trying to just get food from them. I'm honestly listening to what they say. They're talking about some sort of second coming that's expected. They're talking about what we're doing as, people to prepare for that. And I begin talking to the gentleman next to me, and we just have a wonderful conversation, and he answers questions that I have, because I don't even read the full Bible. Who has, And the lunch, what's so funny is it was perfect. If I went down the street and spent my own money, it would have been worse. It was a little croissant turkey cheese sandwich with a potato salad, and it was a piece of cake. There was a piece of cake. It was perfect. I never would have gotten that on my own. That shows the difference between when you throw your trust in God, what He's going to give you, versus what I would have chosen on my own. You see, another example was last night. After the dinner, I went to the Thompson Hotel, which is across the street. And I said, how much is a room? Because again, I'm running low on resources. And the girl says, well, it's $339. I said, could you do like $150? She's like, no. I was like, okay, well, I figured I'd ask. I'll just leave. And I'm disappointed thinking, oh, the world. But I'm like, no, I have a need here. And I stayed at a Thompson in Seattle not too long ago. And it's not that big. I mean, rooms aren't that big, and they're kind of expensive because it's all she. So I hop on my phone. There's no battery left. I'm like, no, the battery will work. And sure enough, it did. And I found a quote on her room, not too far, actually closer to where I was gonna go for where I'm at now to stay tonight. The windshield wiper in my car is kind of busted, or was busted going to dinner. But when I left to go to the hotel, it started to work perfectly the whole time. I get to the hotel, the room is only 101, and I walk in and it was perfect. It had its own balcony. It had its own, it was a very large room. It was like soft sheets. It was perfect. It even had like a white robe. Just, at the Thompson, there's no balconies. And I would have, I could have been pissed off and, oh, well, I'm going to stay here anyway, and screw you, like, yeah, give me the room, blah, blah, blah. Or say, you know what, maybe there's a reason I'm not supposed to be here. Let me roll with God. Sure enough, I wound up in the perfect room. Closer to where I was going to be where I'd have stayed at the Thompson. You see where I'm going with this, guys? When you throw confidence in him, he knows what you need better than you know what you want, I guess. What you want isn't in line with what would make you happiest, I guess. And he wants to help you find that perfect happiness for yourself. But we keep getting in our fucking way. And I did it for 34 years, or 33 years. Or maybe I could argue that, for 29 years, because I started to get on the right path 6 years ago. But the point is, we just keep getting in our own fucking way. And he wants to help us. I don't know. Steve Jobs said there's more to this universe than meets the eye, and I think I'm looking at it right now.